What up, guys? GangstaPranksta bringing the weekly wrestling review for June 8th and the 15th. Welcome to the most late and behind wrestling review show on the internet. I am your host, GangstaPranksta. Yeah, no real excuses. You know, I just got really behind on wrestling, and I just got more behind, and then when I thought I was going to record and watch all my stuff, my computer busted. It's just been a fucking complete nightmare. I just haven't had no motivation to do anything. And yeah, so here we are bringing the weekly wrestling review. Probably don't want to. A lot of you don't want to hear about this shit 'cause it's so fucking old. But I'm still gonna do it anyways. I'm like a month behind now. Actually, if I do this, I'm like still 2 weeks behind, which sucks. But you know, I'm trying to get there. And I thought about doing 3 weeks or like a month of reviews, but I'm like, the most I'm gonna do is 2 weeks. Like, that's it. Anyways, enough about me being absolutely worthless. Let's talk about, you know, what happened in the beginning of June. Holy shit. So I'm not gonna go through everything. I'm just gonna talk about some of the big stuff that happened during that time. First, we got Slammiversary. Slammiversary was a pretty good show. There were some things that were terrible and I didn't like, but overall it was a pretty good show. So it started out with Kenny King and Suicide and Chris Sabin in the 3-way Ultimate X match for the X Division title. Good match. Sabin wins and is the new X Division champion. That was cool to see. What else do we got? We have Ace and Nates versus Hardy, Joe, and Magnus. Pretty good match. Hardy, Joe, and Magnus win. We have Jay Bradley versus Sam Shaw. This match, I don't know why it was on the pay-per-view. Like, it was just so... It was an Impact match. Like, they honestly... Like, I see why, like, they want to give them some exposure, but I just think it should have been on Impact and not on the pay-per-view. What else do we got? Like, honestly, I would have rather had Mickie James and Velvet Sky in a rematch than Jay Bradley and Sam Shaw. Like, honestly. Like, it wasn't that good. Next, you got Joseph Park and versus Devon for the TV title. Match never happened after Devon and Knox attacked Joseph backstage. Abyss came out and beat Devon in an okay match, and he is now the new TV champion. We had Dixie Carter come out and announce that Kurt Angle is the newest member of the TNA Hall of Fame. Cool. I really thought they would have done Jeff Jarrett and like done a little surprise, but they made it Kurt Angle, which, you know, cool, whatever. Next, you got Bad Influence taking on Chavo and Hernandez. Aries, Rude, and Gunner and James Storm in a 4-way. I don't remember if it was a 4-way elimination match. I know it was a 4-way tag team match. But anyways, it was a good match. Gunner and Storm win and are the new tag team champions. I completely disagree with this. I really think Bad Influence should be the tag team champions. They are fucking amazing. And, they should be the tag team champions. Like, that's all I'm going to say. I really think Gunner and Crimson should be a tag team. We're going to talk about more about Crimson later. And just what TNA did with him recently. So we'll talk about that later. But I still don't like the team of Gunner and Storm. It's just, it's black. Next, we got a match that surprised me and a lot of people, which was Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell in a last knockout standing match. This was a good match. This was one of the better this is probably the best knockouts match in quite some time. Like honestly, the knockouts division has just been complete shit. And I haven't, like, this feud's just whatever to me. Like, I knew Taryn Terrell would eventually turn into a wrestler, with being, instead of a ref, like, eventually she would transition into being a wrestler. And, you know, this whole feud where she's, Gail feels like Taryn's screwing her. It's pretty much the whole thing with Booker T and Shane Sewell they did, like, 4 years ago, when Booker T was still in TNA. They had the fucking referee Shane Sewell. He was doing stuff, and then Booker felt he was screwing him, and blah blah blah. They had a feud. Terrible matches, by the way. But anyways, this was a good match. They did some crazy spots that like cut her off the top of the stage. What else did they do? I don't even remember because I watched it such a long time ago. But it was definitely a decent knockouts match. Like, I do recommend watching this match. I recommend watching that match. The Ultimate X match, that was a fun way to start the show. The four-way tag team match, that was a good match, fun tag team action. The Knockouts match, the next match, Kurt Angle and AJ Styles, good match. Angle wins. The only reason Angle won is because he went to the Hall of Fame. Otherwise, I think AJ should have won. But yeah, I don't know where they're going with this now. Like, okay, you bring AJ back, or no, you get rid of AJ because you don't know what to do with him. Let him stay home because you don't know. Bring him back as this outsider. You know, he doesn't like anybody. Are we going to bring him in Aces and Eights? No. Are we going to bring him into TNA? No. He's just going to be this lone wolf. And then, you know, he loses to Kurt Angle, and I thought he should have won. Even though Kurt Angle went to the Hall of Fame, he still should have won the match. And the main event, Sting and Bully Ray for a world title match. Pretty good match. Bully wins. I didn't expect anything amazing. It was good for what it was. And they did some fun action, some no DQ stuff, some hardcore stuff. It ended with a cool part was Bully Ray when he took off the padding on the ring at not Tombstone. He just gave Sting a pile driver onto the wood on the ring. I thought that was pretty cool because we've never seen that before. But anyways, some Aces and Eights came out, took out Sting, and Bully Ray won like that. So that was Slammiversary. Overall, pretty good show. Like I said, there's a couple things I didn't really like. TV title match was kind of whatever. I really hate Joseph Park and the whole Devon. I just hate the TV title. It's fucking awful. They just get rid of it. What else? The AJ Angle thing, I think AJ should have won, but you know, that's whatever. And the Sam Shaw Jay Bradley should have not been on this pay-per-view. So that was Slammiversary. What else? Do I want to talk about the Raw after? We had an appearance by Vince and Stephanie. That was fun to see them. Looking for like stuff that's like important to talk about. What else? We have Daniel Bryan. He's been getting a good push recently. You know, there's been a lot of rumors that WWE has plans for. There's been a lot of like just positive stuff for Daniel Bryan, like stuff that like say no, we don't want to give him a push. Like just by the way with like what they're doing with him, like the 1 week where they had him pretty much single-handedly take out the Shield by himself. That's something big, and they've, you know, he had 2 matches because he felt like the whole weak link thing. You know, I don't really get because like he's honestly not the weak link. Like I don't even know why they'd come up with that. It's because he's got short man syndrome. Like because he's shorter than like Kane and Randy Orton, he feels like he has something to prove. So that's that. He had a good match with Ryback on here. He had actually 2 good matches. First it was Shield versus Team Hell No and Randy Orton. They had a good 6-man. And then later on he had another good match with Ryback. But he won by DQ after he got powerbombed through a table. So that was that. And the main event of this Raw was Curtis Axel versus John Cena, no DQ match. Good match. Axel wins by countout. Next we got NXT. Okay, what happened on NXT? We had Alex Riley. Holy shit, that was the first time I've seen him in a while. I just haven't seen him in a while, and when I saw him come out, I was like, holy shit, he's still with the company? So that was fun to see. What else did we have? The main event was the Wyatt family versus Cassius Ohno and Corey Graves for the NXT Tag Team titles. Good match. Wyatt family wins and retain their NXT Tag Team titles. Next you got Impact. Was this the Impact? Yes, it is. Okay, so this is the Impact where they've been hyping it up for a couple weeks now. Dixie Carter was like, we've signed the biggest free agent available. And all I can do is just laugh because this is... Okay, let's break it down. Let's... I don't want to jump to that yet. There's a couple things I want to talk about first. Actually, no. We'll just jump into the whole Rampage thing. So Dixie Carter, you know, follow Dixie Carter for all the biggest news. That's typical TNA shit. They signed Rampage Jackson. and they said this is the biggest signing or the biggest free agent, and bam, we snagged him up. I just want to say, I don't know why TNA can't learn from their mistakes. Like, honestly, didn't you do the same shit about a year ago with King Mo? Oh my god, we signed King Mo. Oh my god, he's an MMA fighter. Oh my god, this and that. And you know what he's done for the company for like the 10 months he's been a part of it? Jack shit. He got signed. He did a stupid thing at Bound for Glory. He shouldn't have even been involved with the whole James Storm, Bobby Roode thing, but he was there as an enforcer, and he hasn't appeared since. So, just another fucking terrible acquisition for TNA, signing a fucking MMA fighter. I'm pretty sure they did this a couple years ago, again, with... It all started with Bobby Lashley, honestly, because he wanted to do the wrestling and he wanted to do the MMA, but he couldn't do both at the same time, so they pretty much just gave him an ultimatum, and he decided to focus on his MMA stuff. And you know, look at King Mo. He's decided to focus on his MMA stuff. Hasn't really done anything with the pro wrestling. And I just feel it's gonna be the same thing with Rampage. I think they're gonna do more stuff with Rampage, like. And I don't even know why they would sign. Like, they should honestly just get rid of King Mo. Like, honestly, I don't think he's as big a name as they think he is. Or maybe I'm just talking out of my ass because I don't know MMA. I know a little bit about MMA, but I've never heard of King Mo. I've heard of Rampage Jackson because, you know, he's known for, like, the powerbomb stuff back in K1 or whatever, the Japanese company he fought for. But, so... Okay, I've got some good stuff to say about Rampage Jackson. I'm not going to completely shit all over this. I think he is a good fit for wrestling. Like, he even said it himself. Like, he's been a fan of professional wrestling. He's incorporated some of the wrestling moves into his MMA repertoire. And, you know, I think he's got enough of a personality to build upon as a wrestler. He knows a little bit about, like, the foundations of wrestling and takedowns and stuff like that. But, I don't know, I just feel like they're trying to snag some MMA fans to kind of, like, watch TNA, but honestly, they're not going to. They might be like, oh, why is Rampage here? And once they see, oh, he's wrestling, but, you know, I see him knock people the fuck out. Why is he doing this fake wrestling shit? They're just going to tune off and become more, they're going to have, like, a bad taste in their mouth from TNA. So, yeah, I don't know. The Rampage stuff is good. I mean, they brought him out. Okay, so, Jeremy Borash brought him out, whatever. Rampage comes out, talks about being a fan of professional wrestling. Kurt Angle immediately comes out and interrupts him and says, when he's ready, he'll be waiting for him, and they stare each other down. This is actually terribly done, in my opinion, like, for his opening segment. Like, it just seems so rushed. Like, he came out, Jeremy Borash is in the ring, brings Rampage out. Rampage is like, oh, I'm a fan of professional wrestling. Immediately after he finishes saying that, Kurt Angle comes out and already gets in his face. They didn't even give time to, like, let the fans, like, simmer on Rampage. Just pretty much boom, boom, boom. Like, they just jumped right into it. I would have liked this segment to at least gone, like, 3-4 minutes, you know, not like a minute and a half. Yeah, but just they've rushed the shit out of this. I didn't like that. And I don't know, I just wish TNA would stop signing all those fucking MMA guys, because this will be the third fucking time. You had Bobby Lashley. Well, I guess you can even count it like a fourth time. Like, I'll even throw Pac-Man Jones in there, like, oh, I'm going to sign this guy that's in another sport, and what's he going to bring for TNA? What's he going to do for the company? Nothing. He's not going to contribute whatsoever. So you didn't learn your shit with Pac-Man. You brought in Bobby Lashley. You did a little bit of stuff. I hated the whole MMA versus wrestling thing at Bound for Glory with Samoa Joe and Bobby Lashley. But whatever. He ended up going back to MMA. You have King Mo, who you've had under contract for almost 10 months, I believe. And he hasn't done jack shit for your company. And then now you got Rampage, and it's like, I don't know when you're finally going to learn your lesson. Stop throwing money away. Out of all the people I mentioned, I mean, I do like Bobby Lashley and think, you know, he was a good fit in TNA. And I also think Rampage Jackson, but just to keep signing all these fucking MMA guys, I mean, I know Spike has a working relationship with I don't know, the Bellator, I think, the whatever MMA company is on Spike, and TNA, and they kind of promote each other sometimes. At least I know TNA does towards Bellator. But I don't know, just seeing another MMA wrestler, it just reminds me of like all this shit that like TNA just can't get right. Like it just seems like they keep making the same mistakes. But I actually have a little bit of hope with Rampage Jackson. You know, they are gonna tease, you know, Kurt Angle and Rampage, whatever. But yeah, I don't know what else they're gonna do with him. So, that's my opinion on the whole Rampage thing. What else do we got? Oh, here was a little interesting thing that happened on the show. So, on the show, Devon and Knox, they were looking for Abyss. And whatever, they couldn't find him. It ends up Abyss attacking Devon and Knox. And he said something interesting. He said, "I'm taking the TNA TV title into the Abyss." And I'm like, are they getting rid of the TNA TV title? I haven't kept up. Like, I watched the week after this, in the review that I'm talking about, not in real life. Like, I'm not up to date. I'm 2 weeks behind. But I don't know if they've gotten rid of the TNA TV title. I really wish they would just, you know, get rid of it, rebrand it, do what WCW did, where you have Scott Hall pretty much chuck the title out, and then you have Jim Duggan kind of grab the title and start defending it for himself. Something like that, where they kind of, I don't know, just say Devon hasn't fucking defended the title in so long, so we're going to strip him of it, and we're going to have a TV title tournament, and, you know, have guys like Robbie E. and Jesse Sorensen, and is it Jesse Sorensen? I don't know. Jesse Goddard, that's the one I'm talking about. Have guys like Magnus and stuff like that, just guys they're not doing stuff with, but, yeah, so I don't know if they're getting rid of the TV title. It made me think that they were, because it said he's going to take him to the Abyss, but, I don't know. And the main event for this TNA was Jeff Hardy versus Bully Ray in a ladder match. Good match, no one wins. That was that. What else do we got? We got Smackdown. Nothing real noteworthy to talk about. So we're going to skip that. We had Ring of Honor next. They said that Michael Elgin and Paul London, when Paul London is fully healed, that he will have a match with Michael Elgin, which I'm super excited about. I'd love to see that match. What else? Next, okay, so we're going to jump into the week after. So this will be the week of June 9th. No, June 9th. So it started with the Raw, and this is probably the most obscure starting to Raw I've ever seen. So it started with the Triple H Kurt Axel match. The match comes to a quick end after Vince comes out and says that Triple H has been disqualified. So Vince walks away. Triple H restarts the match. Vince forfeits Triple H. Triple H makes an Iron Man match, and then Vince tells Curtis Axel to leave. And then he leaves with the mic and the ring bell, so they can't restart the match anymore. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is just the biggest circus ever. It was fucking hilarious, especially when he ran away with the ring bell, and he almost clobbered Justin Roberts in the head with it. Yeah, what a circus to start off this Raw. Holy smokes. I just thought that was a pretty funny way to start it. What else do we have? Oh, we had Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan, and they had a pretty good match, one-on-one match, and Bryan ended up taking that victory. I enjoyed that match a lot, especially like, oh shit, like we've seen what they can do in Ring of Honor. Let's see what I know they're not gonna do the stuff they did in Ring of Honor, but just to be like, holy shit, these guys started in Ring of Honor, worked their way up, and now they're facing each other on Monday Night Raw. Like, I was like a proud father, like, oh my god, they've made it, you know? But I'm not their father. What else? Next we got Caitlyn comes out to meet her secret admirer. It ends up being Biggie Langston, and you know, he said he sees a secret admirer and he likes her, whatever. He goes in for the kiss, and then he drops her, and AJ comes out and says she did this because Caitlyn turned her back they're back on her for the Divas title. I don't even know, like, they even knew what they wanted to do with the whole angle, because, you know, they had the whole Cody Rhodes thing that they teased with them and Caitlyn, and then they didn't do anything with that, and then they kind of teased, like, tension between, Natalya and, Caitlyn, and they didn't follow up on that, and then it ended up being AJ, so it's just like, I don't even think WWE knew what they wanted to do, or maybe they did, and they just wanted to kind of like swerve us, which I guess they did a good job of, because I fell for it, but that was that. There's still some open ends to those things. What else? And to end Raw, it was John Cena and Ryback come out for a face-to-face, and it ended with a brawl. Next we got NXT. For the opening match, Sami Zayn versus Antonio Cesaro. Good match. Cesaro wins. And the main event of this NXT was Bo Dallas versus Biggie Langston NXT title match. Pretty good match. Bo Dallas wins and is the new NXT champion. So that was NXT. Next we got Impact. Again. Something I want to talk about, thank God. So we had Crimson return to TNA, and he talked about, you know, how he was on a 15-month win streak, and then he lost, and then he pretty much hasn't appeared for a year, and I'm like, yeah, Crimson, preach it, you know, like, damn, where have you been, you know, I mean, you could have teamed with Gunner at that stupid, I don't even remember what, the one-night stand pay-per-view that they do, the tag team one, and really think they should have done a Crimson Gunner tag team. Whatever. So anyways, Crimson comes out, complains about not being used, and he's like, I'm coming back and I'm gonna get a spot in the BFG. So it's like, yeah, Crimson's back. You know, he's gonna beat some jabroni and he's gonna come back to TNA full throttle. His opponent is Joseph Park. Joseph Park beats him and pretty much kills any opportunity of bringing Crimson back to TNA. And I just thought it was so funny. I mean, you have this guy, you haven't used him, you put him on a 15-month win streak. You have him lose, you make him disappear for a year, and then you bring him back with the possibility of you could do something with him, and you just fucking put him under Joseph Park. And I was just like, oh my god. That was fucking awful. Like, they could have done something with them, and they just completely dropped the ball. So I don't know where TNA is going with the whole Crimson thing, but you know, whatever. Next, there was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh yes, the biggest news, Sting's big news. So at Slammiversary, you know, he got attacked by Aces and Eights, and whatever. On this Impact, he's like, I got a big announcement. And he's like, you know, I got attacked, and, you know, no one came to save me, and, you know, Aces and Eights are like a family. And now I'm going to start my family. I'm like, oh boy, where is this going? And Sting is like, I'm going to bring back the Aces and Eights. And I was like, no! Why? Why would you bring back the Aces and Eights? If you haven't watched TNA, when the Main Event Mafia, I think I said create a new Aces and Eights. Whatever, Main Event Mafia. If you remember, or if you haven't watched TNA, when Main Event Mafia was, when they first came out, all I'm gonna say is when the Main Event Mafia was around, that was probably the worst time for TNA. That was when TNA was at its worst. It was awful, just god-awful. Pay-per-views, horrendous. TV shows, horrendous. It was just so fucking terrible. Now, I don't know why you would want to bring back the Main Event Mafia, because when I think Main Event Mafia, I just think just terrible shit. Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, Booker T, Sharmell, Jenna Maraska, Victory Road 2011, I believe, 2010. Just the most horrendous shit. And I'm like, why do you just let Main Event Mafia die? There's nothing of importance, nothing of significance, nothing. It's not going to add to TNA. Just kill it. You're better off making a fortune instead of Main Event Mafia. But he's like, no, I'm going to make a Main Event Mafia. I'm going to start my own family. And I was just face palm because I can just see Kevin Nash coming. I mean, Booker T's not going to be there because he's with WWE. Scott Steiner for sure is not going to be there because, what's it called? He's had a lot of problems with TNA and he's had nothing good to say about them. The people I can see being part of the main event Mafia, I can see Kurt Angle. I can see Rampage. Honestly, I can see Matt Morgan in there. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe Matt Morgan kind of be like that Kevin Nash. And, shit, I really don't know who else. Maybe they bring back Kevin Nash. I don't fucking know. But this whole bring back main event Mafia, fucking terrible. Whoever came up with the idea to bring it back, fire his fucking ass. Because he obviously hasn't watched TNA from when the main event Mafia was at its peak. And when main event Mafia was at its peak, TNA was at its worst. And is there a correlation between the two? Absolutely there is. Main event Mafia, just fucking awful. Just, oh god, nothing but terrible memories. Terrible, 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 terrible idea. Just fire whoever the fuck came up with bringing back the main event Mafia. So that was that. Just a fucking terrible idea. I don't know. Like, TNA has been such on a good streak, and when they mention the words main event Mafia, I got goosebumps. And the hair on my arms and shit, they went up, and they're like, Jesus Christ, TNA, why? Like, Aces and Eights is bad enough, and then now you want to re-bring, like, the main event Mafia back? It's just two of the probably worst stables in TNA history at the same time. It's awful. But anyways, the main events of this Impact was AJ versus Kurt Angle. Good match. AJ wins. Next we got SmackDown. Nothing really to talk about except the main event, which was Hell No and Randy Orton teaming up to take on the Shield in a 6-man tag. And this was a good match, and it was the Shield's first loss as a team, where you had Daniel Bryan make Seth Rollins tap out, which was fun to watch. What else we got? Next we got Ring of Honor. Nothing really to talk about except the main event, which was awesome, which was American Wolves versus the Briscoes. Solid tag team action. These two teams just have great matches whenever they're in the ring with each other. So definitely recommend checking that match out. If you don't know how to watch Ring of Honor, what you want to do is you want to go to ROHWrestling.com, sign up for a free account, and you can watch a show on their website every Thursday is when they upload new episodes. So go check it out. Definitely a solid hour of wrestling. Next we got Payback. I'm not going to go through my predictions. I'm just going to talk about the pay-per-view a little bit. Damien, Sandow, and Sheamus. I don't know why this is on the pay-per-view. Like, this feud has just been awful. Like, Damien Sandow has been great, but this is just a feud for Sheamus to be on another pay-per-view. Like, there's nothing more to this feud than them wanting Sheamus on the fucking pay-per-view, and that sucks. Caitlyn and AJ, it's got a decent story because they used to be friends. I expect AJ to win and be the new Divas champion. Next we got Del Rio and Ziggler. Expect Ziggler to win, retain his world title. We get CM Punk and Chris Jericho. There's rumors that Chris Jericho could be returning he could be turning heel at Payback. And could they be stealing a page out of my book? Have Jericho turn heel, team up with Punk, have them be the best in the world tag team like my universe, which is one of the best universe on YouTube. Hashtag best universe on YouTube. And fucking, oh my god, that'd be amazing for the tag team division. Just fucking incredible. I don't think they're going to do it though. Like, with the whole stuff Paul Heyman and Jericho have been doing the past couple weeks, I don't see them turning into a tag team, so. I'm gonna have to go with Punk because he's returning, so it's in his hometown. Next we got Miz versus Wade Barrett and Curtis Axel in the 3-way for the IC title. Originally was supposed to be Fandango, but he recently suffered a concussion and had to be replaced in the match. They put in Curtis Axel. I definitely expect Curtis Axel to win. He's just been on fire. He's got like a couple wins over Triple H, a win over Jericho, win over John Cena. Like, yeah, the sky's the limit right now. So I see him getting the IC title, and yeah, that's about it. Next we got Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan versus The Shield for the tag team titles. Orton and Bryan's team name is Team RK No, which I think is pretty funny. I don't see them winning the tag team titles. Like, Daniel Bryan's rumored to be in line for a huge push, and he as well has been rumored to be turning heel at the pay-per-view. Same thing with Randy Orton. He's been rumored to turn heel for a while. Like, I think it'd be awesome if Bryan turns heel and feuds with Randy Orton. I think they could have some solid matches. We'll have to wait and see. I expect Shield to win. Next, we got Kane versus Dean Ambrose for the U.S. title. Definitely going to go with Dean Ambrose on this one. I don't think Kane has a chance. And the main event, John Cena versus Ryback, WWE title match, 3 stages of hell. Definitely going to go with John Cena on this one. Super Cena is going to come out. Ryback's not going to have any kryptonite. And he's not going to be able to put him down. I think I said I wasn't going to do predictions, but I did them anyways. So this whole pay-per-view, it looks decent. The only thing I'm really not looking forward to is the Damien Sandow Sheamus match. Like I said, feud, stupid, pointless. And the Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, Shield, and the Kane and Dean Ambrose match. Like, honestly, we've seen these matches on Raw so many fucking times. And to charge people to watch this on a pay-per-view, it's kind of like fucked up. CM Punk and Jericho, that should be fucking great. But yeah, this pay-per-view just looks pretty good. Just a lot of recycled stuff, honestly. Next, we got some wrestling news. So I'm just going to talk quickly about some things that caught my interest. First, several names have been released from TNA. So, people that have been released are Jesse Sorensen, Doug Williams, Alex Silva, and Todd Kenley. So first, Jesse Sorensen, you know, most people know him as the guy that broke his neck in the match with Zema Ion. I guess there's been rumors that he's working in TNA, like he quit being a wrestler and now he's working in the TNA office, working in the marketing department, I believe. I don't know if he's like no longer a wrestler and he does that, or he's been released altogether, but you know, that sucks. I expected him to return for a long time and have a match with Zema Ion, like, but I guess his neck's not healed, or he's not going to come back to wrestling, which, you know, that's fine. Maybe later on. Doug Williams, you know, he hasn't been wrestling a lot, but he has been backstage training people to become better wrestlers in OVW, which is TNA's, pretty much where they get all the people for gut check. And, so yeah, he's been training people there. I guess he's no longer doing that. Next is Alex Silva. Honestly, I really don't know why he's in TNA in the first place. I don't think he should have won gut check. There's people that have not won gut check that I think should have won, and he's one of the people that won that I thought shouldn't have won. I honestly don't know what they saw in him, but, you know, whatever. That was that. And last is Todd Kenley. So no longer is he the third man on the announce booth. It is now back to Taz and Mike Tenay, which I think is better. Honestly, I didn't really like Todd Kenley on the announce table. It just seemed like he was tacked on. I don't know, he didn't really mesh well with Taz and Mike Tenay. And I really hate fucking Teflon Taz. He is so annoying on, not even good annoying, just like annoying, like just stop. You're terrible. Yeah. And I don't really like Mike Tenay either. Like, honestly, like, when there's some stuff, like, when it's like, for a perfect example, Abyss, when he came back, no one gave a shit. No one was like, holy shit, Abyss is back. Joseph Park's been looking at for years, blah, blah, blah. It was just, oh, Abyss is back, whatever. So, the TNA announce table is just fucking awful. And speaking of a bunch of people that got released, so a couple weeks ago, Kid Cash got released, and he had some terrible shit to say about TNA. So what he said was, they just keep recycling, this is word for word, this is what he said. They keep recycling the same people over and over and don't push the ones who have actual talent in the locker room. Unless they raise their budget, they'll continue down the same path. They don't pay like any other IT company. And he said that ECW has paid him twice the amount that TNA ever did. Now, if you know anything about ECW, ECW paid shit. Like, they were known for, like, not paying the wrestlers on time. because it was a smaller promotion than like a WCW or WWF. You know, the paychecks wouldn't be as big, or you wouldn't get your paycheck on time. You might not even get it at all. And to say that ECW paid him more than TNA says a lot about TNA. Like, there's been a lot of talk about their whole pay rates, and how a lot of the wrestlers that wrestle on TNA, they have to get second jobs because they don't make a lot of money from TNA. Like, they just don't pay well. Some of the wrestlers can make a living off it. Guys like Kurt Angle, Hulk Hogan, they just make a fuck ton of money. And guys like AJ Styles, I think he doesn't have a second job, but like a lot of these other guys, they have to get a second job because Kenny King, a perfect example. I don't know if he still does it. I know he did in Ring of Honor. So on top of wrestling with Ring of Honor and getting paid there and wrestling across country, he was also a Chippendale dancer, and that's how he had some more income coming in. So that really sucks to hear about TNA not paying all their people. So that's that. And last but not least, Chikara, the independent company Chikara, is shutting down its doors. The promotion has canceled all of its upcoming events, and it seems like the pay-per-view they hosted a couple weeks ago might be their last. I don't have any updated report. I didn't do any more research into this. I just saw, like, you know, I've heard about Chikara for a long time. I've never actually watched any of their shows, but, you know, it always sucks when a wrestling company goes down, especially, they're probably one of the top independent companies in North America right now, so that sucks to see that they're going down. I don't think they're officially closed, but, I guess they don't have the money or whatever to go on with any more shows, so that really does suck. So yeah, so all you Chikara fans out there, that sucks. I really should go watch some Chikara, honestly. Like, I've heard nothing but good things, but I've never went to check them out. But that sucks that they're not doing shows anymore. So that's it for the weekly wrestling review for June 8th and 15th. I know I'm behind. I'm gonna try my best to come up to date just a little bit, you know. And I thought it was just ridiculous. I'm like, wow, I am a month behind my weekly wrestling reviews. I really need to, you know, not be behind so much. So I am back. I am on my grind right now, and I'm gonna try and get the next part out ASAP. I'm gonna try and get more videos out in general. I know I've been slacking. I don't know. I just haven't felt like recording, honestly. So you know, I've kind of been in the mood, and then my computer busted. But I have my laptop, and I'm gonna try and start pumping more videos. So keep up with that. So I'm gonna end the commentary here. Hope you guys enjoyed the weekly wrestling review. Come back next time where I don't even know what we're gonna talk about. Probably reviews for Payback. I think Ring of Honor has a pay-per-view. RAW, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor, NXT, all that good stuff. So catch us next time. Until then, guys, peace out.
Sheamus wins.